keep it wavy, keep it chill, hold tight. Tell me how you feel, keep it real, no lie. Light another herb, let it burn through the sky. Right. Sipping on sangria, playing that Snow Allegra. Hoping moments like this go on forever. Catch me lounging pajamas in a sweater, especially when weather's looking sloppy. I turn into a homebody, cause it's the weekend. I don't feel like partying, I feel like sleeping. I don't work tomorrow, think I might just sleep until about noonish. I've been working hard, think I deserve to do this like once in a while. Cause this isn't my usual style. My mind is moving past the limit, every minute's a mile. I appreciate the time when I can sit on the couch, turn the music up and just zone out, cause it's a whole vibe. Gotta keep it wavy, keep it chill, low tide. Tell me how you feel, keep it real, no lie. Light another herb, let it burn through the sky. Right, it's a whole vibe. Gotta keep it wavy, keep it chill, low tide. Tell me how you feel, keep it real, no lie. Light another herb, let it burn through the sky. Right, it's a whole vibe.
It's a whole vibe.
Yeah, it's a whole vibe.
It's a whole vibe.
Yeah, it's a whole vibe.
It's a whole vibe.
It's a whole vibe.
It's a whole vibe.
I might turn my phone off when I get in this mood. Only turn it back on when I'm ordering food. And when my pizza gets delivered, going back to disconnected. If you call me and I answer, I'll hang up and blame reception. Got a question or a message, I encourage you to text it. I'll see it when I see it, I'll hit you back soon. For now I stay in tune with this lazy afternoon, like the Roots in 94, asking do you want more? Yeah, I want less of the drama and stress and interactions with people seeking my patience to test. You ain't cutting me a check, so I ain't giving you time to sacrifice my peace of mind. Cause it's a whole vibe. Gotta keep it wavy, keep it chill, low tide. Tell me how you feel, keep it real, no lie. Light another herb, let it burn through the sky. Right, it's a whole vibe. Gotta keep it wavy, keep it chill, low tide. Tell me how you feel, keep it real, no lie. Light another herb, let it burn through the sky. Right, it's a whole vibe.
It's a whole vibe.
Yeah, it's a whole vibe.
It's a whole vibe.
Yeah, it's a whole vibe.
It's a whole vibe.
It's a whole vibe.
It's a whole vibe.
Rise and shine. Pour yourself a cup of coffee and tune in to Good Morning Aurora. News, weather, and really cool interviews. Monday through Friday from 8 to 9 a.m.
Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora. Good morning, Aurora. The time is 8 o'clock a.m. You are listening to and watching Good Morning, Aurora, the second largest city's first daily news podcast. Barbara McNulty-Hollick. Good morning. So it's Monday. We're back. We hope that you all had a great Easter weekend. Hope that you and the kids got some eggs and you found little trinkets inside, perhaps. Maybe you took the time to mow your grass before the Easter egg hunt, so it smelled effervescent with the dew, and the kids didn't have to go through the weeds and everything to look for the eggs. Hopefully you don't have weeds. Hopefully you have a nice manicured lawn like I do. So, good morning to our great guests. We have great guests today representing a fantastic organization, and this is their part two. actually. We have our friends Myra Torres and Katrina Henderson.
Good morning. Good morning.
morning.
Happy
How
to
y'all
be
doing?
here. Good.
We were talking before the microphone came on about our particular weekends. How was it for you ladies? What did you do before we get talking about the Quad County Urban League?
I had a, I guess, pretty easy weekend. We just went out, did the Easter egg hunt with the kids. It was chilly, in and out, did that, ate their chocolate. All right, let's bounce. So quick and easy. We had a good weekend, though.
Yeah, mine was about the same. I'm just getting ready. I leave in a couple of days for Mexico. So a lot of ripping and running.
Okay, all right.
Warmer climates in my future. Cannot wait.
On
So,
vacation. in
yes.
your immediate
Going to
future.
paradise.
yes, in the next 48 hours. I will see you all in a week.
Okay. Now
Can't
you
wait.
ladies both, you both work for Quad County Urban League.
Yes.
What are your positions? What do you do?
I am the Workforce Development Manager, so I oversee all programs that afford youth and adults a chance at a different career path via some of our corporate partners, which we'll get into.
All right.
And I am a case manager for our East Aurora Academy, also known as EA2 Squared. So that is just basically a credit recovery program that we use for the high schoolers to either gain the credits that they were missing or use the time to gain credits that they didn't have prior to in order to graduate on time.
Okay.
It's a good alternative before opting to get the GED. So
Yep.
Yeah, that's just what I was thinking about. That's a positive diversion
Yes.
kind of thing.
Very much
That's
positive.
awesome.
And it's a lot. It's useful for the students who can't work or aren't able to sit in a classroom the way other typical students would.
Right.
So it's quieter, it's smaller, it gives them access to different materials the way they need to, and just to be able to work on their own independently without that teacher being in the room the way that in a typical classroom it would be.
Right. Now, Myra's also going to be here on Wednesday for Buenos Dias, Aurora. So
Yes.
you're going to give the same news in Spanish.
I will.
We're
I will
gonna
try.
Run it back. In
Definitely.
Spanglish.
Spanglish is what it will be. Yes.
All right. So let's talk about the Quad County Urban League for those who are unfamiliar with it.
Okay.
What is the organization and what does it do?
So we are a community organization that services 4 counties. That's going to be Kane, Kendall, DuPage, and Will. And we basically advocate for educational, economic, and workforce, I would say, excellence for youth, adults. And we just try to provide those resources to anyone who needs them, whether it's looking for a place to attain your GED if you aren't an East Aurora High School student, or if you need to change careers or get a career. We really try to fuel people to focus on that because sometimes they have barriers that everyone can't address. We can address those barriers, whether it's education, soft skills, employability skills, or just getting in touch with the right people or getting that exposure or access. A lot of the barriers we see have a lot to do with access, so we try to bridge that gap and make sure that even if you face disparities, you're still afforded those same opportunities that others have out the gate. So
Barriers like what?
I would definitely say a big barrier in Aurora has a lot to do with income. So a lot of our workforce development programs are stipend based. And while they don't afford you a full salary, while you're in a program that allows you those, opportunities to learn those employability skills, we do provide a biweekly stipend that can foot for groceries or help towards rent. And then at the end, you have a chance to interview with someone like ComEd or NICOR or a corporate partner. And ultimately, you'll see an increase in that income. So it kind of helps you float throughout. I would say that's a big one. We also face food disparities. And that's where we try to step in where we can, help them with groceries while they're in a program or even if they're out of the program because, let's be honest, COVID's still here, still reeling with that impact. So we try to face those obstacles with them. And then I also think that rental assistance is still something that has had a bigger wave than what people acknowledge. So we do try to assist in that area as well.
Time is 8:05 a.m. Tracy Hodges, thank you for your stars. Bianca Camargo, good morning to you, Judge. Good to see you. So, is there an age limit with the services?
So that's a great question. So we start with youth, and that's usually around 16 years of age.
Okay.
And then we build up from there. We have some programs that do have a limit and may be 24. I can get into a few of those if we have the time, which I feel like
Oh, we got the time.
We got the
We got 55 more minutes, girl.
So I'll start with Aurora Youth Build. That is actually for those who are age 16 to 24. And that's a short-term program where you can get skills to get your GED, but also get construction skills and perform construction-related community service within the community. After that, we typically try to focus on career coaching, whether you want to stay in that construction field, or we work on post-secondary education, whether it's junior college, a trade. We really try to say, what's your plan going to be? And I'd say with every program that we have, that's the biggest piece, is what's your plan? We're going to get you through this program, but after that, we want you to know that you keep going. You don't stop. Because sometimes that's all that's needed is someone needs to know that they can do it. And whether they find out, hey, I did this program in construction, and now I'm going to the Art Institute because I figured out my passion, that's okay. Like, we fully support that. And we're going to work on how do you fill out an application for the Art Institute? What's the fee for that application? Do you have that fee? If not, we got your fee. No problem. So that's Aurora Youth Build. Our biggest program that I think sees a lot of participation in all 4 counties is the Nicor Gas Career Academy. We love this program because it allows some of our East Aurora graduates a chance to participate once they get their diploma. You do have to have a diploma or GED in order to participate. It is a 6-week program. Again, that one is stipend-based. And it's a partnership with Nicor Gas where we work on resume building, interview skills, working in the Microsoft Suite, and building those soft skills as best as you can. And then Nicor comes in on particular days. It is virtual right now. And they say, hey, this is our company. These are the positions. This is what working here looks like. This is how you read a gas meter. It's a pretty exclusive program that basically lays out an opportunity to potentially be employed with a really great employer. We have an HR day, we have mock interviews. We try to cover the whole gamut so that they're successful whether or not they land with Nicor or a subsidiary of Nicor. So at the end of that 6-week program, we have a graduation, we have speakers come in, local people give more motivation, and just that reminder, that push. I think our biggest thing is you can do this. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't do it. You just have to show up and try. So that's one of my favorite programs because how they start is never how they finish. They usually come in with a lot of, again, barriers, doubt, self-doubt, and we try to turn that around for them so that they know whether it's landing a job with Nicor. We've had people who've gone and worked for the Willis Tower. I call it the Sears Tower, but that's neither here nor there. Showing my age.
We like that on
Right,
the
it's
show.
definitely
We like
the
that.
Sears Tower.
It's
Like that.
definitely the Sears
Like
Tower.
that.
Wherever they land, they know, one, they've created a partnership with us. Whoever comes through our door, we consider family. So that's a really great program. And actually, Nicor Gas is going to begin in July, so there's time to sign up for that. You'll see that on the website, which is qcul.org. Look at me. Another youth program we have is Youth Career Pathways, and that's for anyone ages 16 to 24. And participants in that program do have to be academically at risk, homeless, or unemployed.
Academically at risk. What is that?
At risk of dropping out.
Sounds simple. Okay.
Right. At risk of dropping out. I would say really that covers the whole gamut.
Right, just for the most part.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you
Loss
off.
of
Oh, no,
credits,
you're
right.
fine. You're fine. Yeah. So if they're facing, again, any of those barriers, this would be a good program for them. This is a scaled down version of Workforce where we, again, will touch on those employability skills, but we spend a lot of time on the school portion. Where are you at in high school? Where are you at and how are you figuring out your next steps? What's preventing you or stopping you? Because some of the barriers that people face go deeper than money. Sometimes it's they are the head of a household, even though they're a sibling.
Right.
We have several people who operate as mom and dad Monday through Friday because their mom and dad are already gone, so they've got to get the sibling to kindergarten. So where can we step in and help you with that? Whether it's making sure that the transportation is set up for those kids. And then we follow up and give them opportunities on a scaled down basis. So they may have a job shadow day at, say, Aldi. We're working on something in the Aurora area that does retail so they can have that job experience. Because most people who are 16 may or may not have had a job yet. So that we need to start there and then build on, okay, what are you learning at your job? Are you showing up on time? We're starting with the foundation and then building to, okay, do you think you want to do corporate? Do you think you want to, again, go do art, want to do this? What does your life feel like for you and how do you want to navigate that? So that's a really cool program.
Asking That's interesting. This is just, I'm thinking about it right now. Asking you what you want to do.
Yes.
Not just doing it because your dad
Right.
did it. Oh, I went to, so you're going to be a plumber.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because your life is your own, right?
How novel of an idea.
Yeah, it's really good to promote that your life is truly your own and that you do have control of
Right.
it, even though you feel like the circumstances make you feel like you don't, right?
Right.
So we really try to push that at Quad County because sometimes, and we're human, we all have off days where it's just like, oh, nope, life, don't want to do that right now. I'm turn on Netflix and we're just going to avoid those problems.
Right. That was it.
Are you still watching? Yes, I am. I'm avoiding my problems today. And sometimes we don't know how to cope.
Right.
So we try to fill in that small missing gap where they feel like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. And we have people who come into our programs and sometimes they go through something. We really try to push communication with any employee at Quad County because all of us are there to do the same thing. It's the same mission, and that's to see your ultimate success. So, yeah. And then finally, we actually have our pre-apprenticeship program. This one is new. It's our big fish. We're really excited about it. It actually starts the second week of May in Aurora, and then we have another cohort in Joliet that'll start in August. And it's to increase the number of qualified construction and building trades who are women, people of color, veterans, and it prepares them to enter full apprenticeship programs on their way to careers in construction and building trades. We're so excited about this because it has a really great focal point, again, on women, people of color, those who face more disparities than others, veterans. We're really, really excited to see that it is also stipend-based. Once you come in, you fill out an application. We make sure you're qualified. You do need to have a high school diploma or GED. If you don't have that, we can work on figuring out how you can attain that. So we wouldn't want that to stop you because if you miss the Aurora cohort, you can always come to Joliet. Yeah. You can get your GED in almost no time based on the resources we have. We definitely would love to see you join out for that one. So, yeah.
All right. The time is 8:12 a.m. Michael Rayford, good morning. Maria Chirito, good morning. Angelica Guzman, good morning to you, dear friend. And Casildo Casey Cuevas, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Michael Rayford just did a great interview the other day with the filmmaker, documentary filmmaker. Good stuff. Good to see. Yeah, how y'all doing? We can wave.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Yeah.
y'all.
Good morning.
Good to see you guys.
We are here and it's Monday. It's snow.
Monday.
It
Did y'all see
I
that?
was so disappointed
Y'all saw
to
that,
see
right?
that this
It was
morning.
very disrespectful.
So
it was the most
disrespectful.
disrespectful thing that happened today.
I woke
Right.
up
Was
this
to wake up to
morning
snow on the grass.
so disappointed. I was
I
like,
was floored. I said, excuse me,
Right.
it's April.
sounds about right.
We need to
And
stop
not only
this.
that, it's
Oh,
almost
God.
May.
Need to stop.
Almost
Right.
May.
I was
That is
like,
exactly
what
it.
is going on right
Yes.
now? It was
And I
so
actually did think
terrible.
of you because I was like, man, Katrina's going to be in Mexico and she don't have to
So
deal with this.
soon.
Right.
But
I
it's
definitely
gonna
thought of
warm
her this
up.
morning.
Weather lady said it's going to warm up. And I trust
I
my
hope so.
weather lady.
What part of Mexico are you going to again?
I'm going to Cancun for a
Cancun.
wedding.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool.
Cannot
Very
wait. Cannot
cool.
wait.
Now, Myra,
Yes.
your specific position and what you do. Talk about that for a little bit.
Yeah, so I am a case manager. I work with a couple of students at a time. So I think right now I currently have less than 5 that I'm working with because the majority of the students that we did have already graduated in January. So we had 7 graduates prior to. I am also fairly new to the company. I am going on 3 months now, made just 3 months on the 3rd of April. But basically the program is there to, it's specific and catered to the students of East Aurora High School, I should say. And so a lot of the students we have are junior, seniors, or super seniors per se. They didn't graduate, they don't have the credits, or they're looking to finish earlier, whatever the case may be. They are in our program to, I guess, learn differently, be able to sit in a classroom without sitting in a typical classroom setting. And it's similar to the Career Pathways program that we have, except it's catered to the students from East Aurora High School. And a lot of the programs that we're working with is getting them to graduate on time. So like I said before, the students that we work with have graduated. So 7 of them graduate in January. We will have, I want to say, close to 10 for May. May graduation is what they're set for. June 6th is their actual graduation day, but they're considered graduated in May. So we're making sure that they're crossing the stage, making sure that they're, finishing up their classes. A lot of our students actually, we had a student come in with 18 credits that he missed. Yeah. 18 credits that were not completed, needed to graduate, and needed that by the end of this year in order to graduate. He is more than halfway done. It's just that the school, I guess, not the school itself, but they felt that he wasn't going to graduate. They felt that he wasn't going to make it on time. That's where we come in. We motivate you to get that done. We motivate you to come in, get your work done, make sure that you are, ahead of the game if need be, or if you're not, how can we help you get there? What is it that's holding you back? As she mentioned before, some of our students are doing that, they're taking on that role of a parent where they are watching over their siblings. They don't have the time to do their homework at home. So they can come in, do it in the classroom, get it done with us. And, just eliminating the barriers for them, making sure that they're coming in, getting it done, and walking the stage. Motivation, as she mentioned before.
I hear you both you ladies talking about East Aurora mostly in this conversation. Is this not open to West students?
Not at the moment. We're hoping that in the future we'll have a partnership with them. Okay. But we do have a partnership with Dr. Norell in East Aurora School District where it's kind of fully set up and integrated for these students again to complete that. And then we have all these workforce programs, so then they have somewhere else to go. But we would love to see that happen.
Right. So the graduation rate, and this isn't a dig, but the graduation rate, the graduation rate of East is lower than West.
Yes.
Okay.
So that probably promoted the need to shift the focus there.
Exactly.
I would say
working
absolutely.
on priorities. That's good.
Yep. And then building, because everyone needs the help and assistance. And I'm not a case manager for EA2, but these students come into our building Monday through Friday. So everyone sees everybody. We're not some huge campus or anything. It's just more intimate, I would say. So when she was just counting back and saying, people graduated in January, I was so excited because we see them in August, and I'm like, this is where you were, and this is where you are, and this is what you're doing. And some of them now went on to Avanzi and are taking classes there. So it just really pulls at the heartstrings sometimes because I get so excited to know, you can do this. It's a feasible thing, and while you may not be able to do it in this environment, we have an environment where you can accomplish this. And sometimes they come around, they walk, they need to talk, and we just have this big open door policy. Yes. So we're all just familiar with every student, and I just love that program. I love EA2. It's just great.
At the caseworker level, what is it that you can see and identify as to why young people are coming into the program? Is it because the teacher, it's not on the teacher necessarily, but is it all the learning environment is the issue with this crop of students, or is it because these more students have the problems at home as opposed to the classroom issues? What is the number one reason why kids are coming into the program?
Honestly, there is no number one reason. All of our students come from different backgrounds. They come from different scenarios, different just ways of how they actually function. We have a student who just had anxiety. She didn't want to show up to class. She didn't want to be in the classroom setting. Came to our program, completed the program, she's done. And the reason that worked out for her is that because although we have a classroom for our students, she was able to sit in a different room and, complete her work on her own, get that done without the push of anybody else. Right. We had, like I said before, we have a student who wasn't able to make it to class because he was taking on the role of his mom and dad. His mom was at work, his dad wasn't there. He was taking care of his siblings, taking them to school beforehand. He wasn't making it to class. He was tired. He was also working. Another student just didn't like the pressures of the students in the high school. Yeah. They didn't like being with them, didn't like, feeling that they needed to fit in or fit out, whatever the situation was. They just preferred to be on their own. So each student has a different story, and as to, the reason why they couldn't come in the classroom is their own. We never questioned them. We didn't push it. We left it at that, and we worked with where they came in, met them in the middle, and are trying to help them finish, get to the high school diploma, because we don't want them to get that GED.
Are there other Quad County Urban League? Well, no, because you guys are you're on your own, and there's
one of a kind.
Nobody like
one of a kind.
But I guess on a city-to-city basis or county-to-county and other state basis, are there other urban leagues or organizations doing what you do in a similar fashion?
Great question. So we are an affiliate of the National Urban League, which is headquartered in New York. And we are one of, I believe, 96 affiliates across the United States of America. So there is a Chicago Urban League, and I think next door to us we have a St. Louis Urban League, and I believe we also have a Springfield Urban League. To that end, every urban league does typically have workforce and education programs. They may look a little different based on what the district rules are for however the school partnerships work, but the goal is the same. And that's the most successful outcome for someone who walks through our door. We make sure to never, one, turn anyone away. Everyone is welcome. That's a question. We don't have all of the services, but we do have a running book of resources. Yep. And I would say it's the same for any urban league you walk through. No one's ever just going to say, "Ooh, no, we don't do that. Right. See you later." We're going to say, "No, well, we don't have a program here, but we know a guy, or we know a woman, or we know a partnership that we could probably tie you into." And I would say probably the biggest thing aside from the disparities I mentioned earlier is probably legal advice. And that's just something where, depending on what county you're in, we know where to send you for Kane County. If it's something related to domestic violence, we know to send you to Mutual Ground. We know our community partners and how to help you, and we won't ever just say, "Here's the number." We're going to say, "Okay, let's go in the office. Let's call this number together, see what we can get set up." Whether it's Prairie View or Prairie State? I'm thinking Prairie State Legal, which also has a partnership with Kane County. Anything like that, we're going to dig deeper into. Whether it's WorkNet DuPage, whoever it is, wherever you are. If we don't have that resource, we have a book, we know a guy, and we're going to get you set up to make sure that you know how to move forward. You're never going to feel helpless. So.
Who must don't know about me?
I like the high note. You hear it? I heard it.
I'm coming back tomorrow.
All right, so here's the thing. I've heard you mention it a couple times now. What is employability? What is that?
Ooh, that's a good question. So employability looks like you walking into a room at an interview and just beaming, exuding, oozing all the skills
these words. Wow.
that employer wants. Whether it's communication skills, whether it's typing 60 million words a minute, all of those things, compiling a really great email, knowing how to speak respectfully, knowing social grace, because how I speak with Myra when this podcast turns off and how we're speaking now are two completely different things, right? But knowing the difference in that. Right. So that's what we like to call soft skills, and that's just making sure you hone those, you make sure you're showing up on time, you present well, you make sure that if you're a guy going into a corporate interview, you probably don't want to just wear a polo. You probably want a shirt and tie. Guess what? If you don't have a shirt and tie, we'll also get you that shirt and tie. We're going to make sure you can make it there. So don't worry too much about if you have a tie or not. We have ties. We will figure that out. But can you show up on time? Make sure you have a clean resume. We do resume reviews all the time amongst our students, amongst our participants. I can throw a resume at someone right now like, "Hey, can you look this over?" Because we want you to succeed, and we know that part of that is what it takes. You have to look good on paper. You need to present well on paper and in person. We do mock interviews, which I love, probably a little sick and twisted, but it's so interesting to see the nerves, because I get those nerves when I go interview somewhere, and you're walking in, you're just like, okay, because you want to be good enough, you want to feel good enough. Right. We kind of rip that Band-Aid off in the mock interviews, because you don't know who you're sitting down with, and then we provide that feedback, because those who are interviewing you, and they're with partners, they're with Target. Shout out to Target in Yorkville and Lindsay, because she always partners with us, and we get all these Target managers in these red shirts coming in, and they're sitting down with our participants, and they're asking those real questions with a stone face, and they're jotting down the notes.
Same way they would.
And it helps build character for those participants who just simply, and as heartbreaking as it is to say, they simply don't feel like they're worth it. So we rip that Band-Aid off, and then they finish, and they're like, that wasn't so bad. We're like, see? Yes. It's the same thing when you get in front of Joe Blow at ABC Company. Doesn't mean you're not good enough. You just want to present as best you can, as well you can, and then worry about the rest later. And chances are, if you present this way and take away the and the I don't knows and I don't and the nervousness, and just go in as you are. We see you. We want you to see you.
Right.
We're fine with what we see. You have to be fine with what you see. So that's employability skills in a nutshell. It's just, what is it? Going through the car wash, buffering up, shining.
Sounds like
Right,
that.
yeah.
Just like that.
Working
right.
at the car wash.
Making sure your lace is tied.
Right.
Whatever
Just like
you wanna call it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, I asked that because I do believe that in the quest of getting a job or seeking employment, especially with young people, a lot of those, it's not just having your certification for that job is as important as like being able to be there and be squared away. Like all of that.
Right.
Yes.
I had a great guy once upon a time tell me, he said, it's better to be on time without a pencil for the test or a pen than to be late and prepared.
Correct. 100%.
It's you gotta be, because all of that stuff makes you just that more competitive too. Because I think of some of those tests or some of the metrics that a lot of tests have in there are different things like you get points, extra points, and extra value for some of those soft skills. But I don't think those soft skills are being taught anymore. It seems to be
They are
going
trying
away.
to disappear. And I do not know why. I don't know if that's generational and we're becoming more flexible post-COVID, which I fully support the idea of working from home and, work-life balance. But I think that some foundations that generations built really are just classic and you should never get rid of them.
Right.
It should always be holding the door open. It should always be, well, yes, please, thank
Yeah.
you.
Grammar,
Not
punctuation.
JK in an email. I don't want to see
little out
BRB
loud.
in an email. Please do not put that in an email.
Right.
Spell your words. Like it's okay
Right.
to spell out words. And I really couldn't tell you why that's disappearing because you're right. I think that even with my own kids, they write like an email to a teacher and I'm like, what is that?
Right.
You didn't feel like you needed to capitalize some of those words and use punctuation? Why not?
Run-on sentences.
Right. Like, what are you doing here? You're not my child. What's happening? So I think that that's disappeared, but if we promote it more again at the Urban League, we try to, and hopefully it'll just spread, but it is disappearing. That was a really good point. And now my mind is
And yeah, actually that you mentioned that, I've had, a couple students going in through the ComEd programs, the other programs that we have in the, the building, ask me, what are soft skills? I have to put this on my resume. Somebody asked me to do this. I had to look myself. I didn't know what a soft skill was. So I think it's definitely, it might be a generational thing, but I feel that it's not being taught anymore.
That and
just-
financial literacy. That's
that
something
too.
else
That
we
as
have
well,
to
yeah.
really, really push with our youth and understanding the power of the almighty dollar, be it what it
Right.
is.
Cards out, but
and, right, learning the concept of saving and spending and
Yes.
anticipating tax. It always cracks me up when the youth is like, taxes? I was like,
Right.
yeah, it's not just
That should
$9.99.
cover it.
It's probably
Right.
going to be more than that. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. My background is corporate. Like that's, I was, driving forklifts and all that, then went from that to, corporate. And it's just like, it's a blueprint. It's like Tupperware.
Yep.
It's like, it doesn't matter how talented you are.
Right. If you don't
If you
have
just,
this.
right?
Yes.
Like, if they can't read that in the email, like, all of that is just gone.
Exactly.
At the same time, though, it seems like what I get from the Urban League is that I hear you guys talk a lot about trades. You talk about building trades. You mentioned the NICORs and the ComEds. So I'm getting from you guys careers as opposed to jobs.
yes.
Correct.
Okay.
We
Yes.
love
Talk
the
about
word
That is,
career.
right, that is.
Yeah, talk about that. a
See
little
my
bit.
eyes light up just now. We love the word
That's with
career.
the coffee cup too. Like what?
Yes. Like
Cool.
you just
we got,
you hit the
can we
button.
take
You
a
found the
sip?
button.
Can we
cheers
take a
it
sip?
up?
We
Cheers.
can. We
Cheers.
can. Cheers.
Yes. Cheers.
All of you people at home, I hope that you cheersing up unless you're driving.
Yeah. Be safe.
Then just lift your hand up real
Right.
quick.
Honk if you love careers. So the reason we use careers is because it's, again, foundation. I know I'm beating a dead horse, but you're starting somewhere where you're building the skills you've learned and then hopefully growing. You can work for NICOR and read meters for 2 years and then decide, I'm going to do customer service.
Right.
But you have that room, you have that access to move and do so. And let's be honest, something like a corporate partner that says NICOR or ComEd looks amazing on a resume. You can also decide, I'm actually going to, look into neuroscience now, but I'm pretty sure someone in neuroscience is going to honor something that says ComEd or NICOR. That's a career.
Right.
You've just created that foundation, and you're building on that. Careers are buildable. They're supposed to evolve. Change is supposed to happen. I just said this weekend with Easter happening that oftentimes people don't think that change and growth should be consistent, but they should.
Come on now.
Yeah.
That should be as consistent as everything else that's consistent in your life. If you are not comfortable with change, there's some growth in that area that needs to happen, because then you're limiting your access to what your life could be. So I love the word career, guys. I could just preach about that all day. Yeah. But that's what we try to promote, is a career. And some of our participants and students may not want to do ComEd or NICOR. Okay, what are you interested in? Who do you want to talk to? You want to go to cosmetology school? Then I'm going to find a local lash tech, makeup artist, whomever, to provide you with what that looks like for you. Will you still need to work part-time and pay for this school that you want to attend? What does that look like? Because at the end of the day, the career kind of navigates what you want your life to be. Your life is your own. Your career is your own as well. And how do you want that to move?
In the Navy, we call it choose your rate, choose your fate.
Ah,
the job you pick,
Navy man,
your rate. The job you pick will dictate all of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, don't be ready, because if you're going to be committed to something, if you're going to put your all into something, don't get wavery 4 months later, like, oh, I'm not really sure.
Right.
Like, no, you know.
Yep.
But also, sometimes in some circumstances, though, with jobs and things like that, or careers and different paths, your passion may come out of kind of an unexpected place, though, too.
Yes.
So having that flexibility or that knowledge to see where you could be wasting time,
yes,
or B, doing better.
Right.
Exactly.
Perhaps that can be in the same company. You may not have to leave.
Right. And we talk about that in our agency days and employability skills, because that's a big part of it. You may sit there and wake up one day and say, wow, I'm really great at this one specific thing, which has nothing to do with where I'm at right now.
Right.
How do I create a plan? Right. I love a plan. I try not to fall in love with a plan, because plans change, right?
Yep.
But I love a plan.
Right.
And this is, okay, I'm really good at this one thing. I want to do this every day. I want to wake up and do this every day. How do I get there?
Right.
So, I just love it here. This
and
is
that's,
great.
kind of.
It's all good morning. Right.
I love it here.
It could be at night. Anytime something good happens, it's a good morning.
Distribute it.
What were you going to say, Mara?
I'm sorry. No, I was just saying, to kind of bounce off of that, with the students we work with, a lot of them aren't ready for college, or don't want to, or don't know what they want to do.
Right.
We don't focus on the idea of college is the only way.
Right.
In fact, we actually kind of give them the option. Okay, what is it that you'd like to do? We do sit, with our students, do interest quizzes, career quizzes, like just different things to show them and expose them to what they would like or what they wouldn't like. And a lot of it is trade. Like she mentioned, it's just bringing in the resources. We have a student who doesn't want to do the traditional college route. He would rather do welding. Okay, what can we do for that? How can we get you there? What are the programs you'd like to do?
Sure.
When do you see? What is the timeline? We've got, like she said, a plan to try to help them get to that point, to make them see, this is what I'm interested in, this is what I want to do. She mentioned the cosmetologist student. We have some students who are interested in that route and would prefer to go that route. We have mentioned them and brought their attention to different schools in the area that would cater to those needs that they would like to meet. So it's a lot of, college isn't the only thing that you have to do to, be successful in life, despite what others might say. Careers are there for you. Trade is there for you. You have all of these opportunities available that you should take advantage of. And so that's what we do with a lot of our students, is making them aware that, okay, this isn't the only option. What else can we do for you? What else do you like? What else interests you? How else can we get you there?
It was a few generations. There was like 2 or 3 strong generations of our parents and elders who were pushing that. That's the line they were pushing. It was college, only college, no matter what. And at the same time, with the rise of technology and the different paths that technology started to take, the message was still college, when a little bit more clear, sober thinking and more diverse thinking, more progressive thinking would have seen in 1999 and in 2004. Like, okay,
Right.
college, yeah, but STEAM, get the science. Okay,
Yes, get the
what
STEAM
they doing with
rolling.
this Apple
Yes.
thing? Where that's going?
Right, because
You know?
it went.
Exactly.
It
Exactly.
blew up.
Exactly.
I agree.
And it's interesting because there's equipment in this same building.
Mm.
There are boxes with dust on them in this building of programs that came out that are now on our phones.
Yep.
How about that?
Right.
But when I was just in the room, Microsoft this and that. It was tech that at that time was the new thing.
Right.
Right.
Sure,
That's what
you
you
could
needed.
put images on a VHS.
Right.
That's
I don't
gone now.
understand on that.
But if that was being pumped in the heads, they would have been ready for that.
Right.
You know, they could have been part of when it got from the VHS to the app. It's just pretty. It's pretty interesting.
Yes.
Yeah. And it also makes me think about would today's generation be so impressed by what's on their phone
Right.
if they spent more time developing it and learning about it and creating it. Would Snapchat really be that interesting if you knew how to make a filter yourself and build a
Right.
program yourself and make your own little Snapchat? Would it?
Yeah, cause the Snapchat with me, I've never been because it disappeared.
I'm not a snapper.
Yeah,
Right. I'm not a
no,
snapper.
bring it back.
I need to reference what we're talking about. I need
It's
to
like
get
if I'm
reference.
feeling down, let me scroll the feed and look.
Yes,
hit the,
that's why I
All
love
right.
He said it.
Instagram.
Yes.
All right. Tracy Duran is here. Good morning. Tashi Haskin. Good morning.
morning.
And Tracy Hodges. Good morning to you. Shalimar McGowan. Good morning. And Casildo says, Judge Bianca Camargo cordially invites everyone to a fundraising reception for the first Latino judge. Bianca Camargo, April 28th at McCarty Mills. Tickets are $30. Enjoy tacos and street corn.
Ooh, elotes?
Elotes.
I can't do
Exactly
elotes.
what-
I
I have to go
Oh,
easy
right.
on the mayo, heavy on the. I love
I
it.
can't do
Elotes. Listen.
I can't do the elotes.
Listen.
What about the
Ow.
elotes can't you do though?
All of it. All
Excuse
of it.
me.
I can't. Like the,
How?
so
It's
nice.
so good.
What?
I can't do it.
That's-
You're not.
That hurts
stirring
my
it
heart,
or-
right?
Or something.
It hurts
I
my
can't
heart.
do it. I mean, I can't do it. I
He's
can't
like,
do
I
it.
couldn't.
Think about it.
No, no,
Then
no.
you think about it.
Like the fruit with the chili powder on top.
The
I can't do
tahini?
it.
What?
I can't do it.
Oh my
I
gosh!
can't do it.
Wow.
The mango with
Right,
the tahini
with the tahini.
snaps every time.
He's like, no, no,
That
no.
is a
He's
meal.
like, no, no, no.
What about cucumber and tahini?
I can get down with that. The cucumber tahini, that's
Interesting.
good.
We
I like that.
literally have 3 bottles of tahini in the pantry at all times. It's on every
I
grocery
like
store
that.
run because the
I like
kids go through it with the
I
fruit.
like
So
in,
good.
in the pod. Is that the tamarind? That the one in the pod that
Uh-huh.
you pull it out? The seed? Is that the one? Tamarindo.
Okay.
Oh,
I can do
okay.
that.
Okay.
I can definitely do
Like raw tamarindo.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
Okay.
shit is
Look at you.
good.
I like the candy ones, but
Yeah.
that's interesting. All right,
But other than that, the elotes.
that definitely breaks my heart.
If I got
but,
captured by like the Russians or something, they
Yeah.
I would all the spoon, eat this. I'm telling. I'm telling.
he said that's it. Can't do
Oh my
it.
goodness.
Alex Arroyo, hello, Mr. Spivey, right back at you. Alex Arroyo, hello, dear friend.
Hello, good morning.
All right. Look, Lord have mercy. We're having a good time with this. This is
I might not leave. It's only an hour. We need
Right.
more hours.
the time is 8:39 a.m. Monica, if you would be so kind, take us to a commercial, please, and bring us back.
All right, good morning, everyone. Here are your local headlines. Real news, real people, real stories, 100% Aurora. Don't forget to please subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date on all of our content. There you can also watch all of our interviews and receive notifications when we go live. Thursday, April 21st, from 6 to 8 p.m., there will be a great youth and family resource fair. This will take place at the Prisco Center, located at 150 West Illinois Avenue, and will feature music, food, and a whole lot more. Come out and celebrate with our great city and community organizations. And we have shared this flyer to our social media. The Veterans Gardening Day is taking place at Maria Wilkinson's Food Pantry on Saturday, May 7th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. This will be a day of honoring the veterans of Illinois. Also, This will celebrate House Bill 2894, designating the first Saturday in May as Veterans Gardening Day. See the flyer for more details, and thank you to all the sponsors for their hard work. A great community cleanup event will be taking place on the 23rd of April. Join the Fox Valley Park District in the office of State Representative Barbara Hernandez at Gregory Island Park, located at 140 East Indian Trail. There will be equipment and refreshments provided. And I'll be sharing the registration link in our chat.
That's right. That's right. Your environment is very important. So get out there and do the cleanup. You know, get the plastic off of the ground and get it out the water. You know, fish swim in the plastic of the beer can ring.
Yeah.
You know, and they get stuck in that.
Bueno.
And that's not good. Not good. Tanya Hernandez, good morning to you. Susan Mazio, good morning as well. Okay.
Hello, good morning.
Let me see here. Aurora's looking at a $56 million bond issue. I told you guys about this Thursday last week. We're going to highlight just a couple of sentences from this otherwise moribund article. Alderman on the Finance Committee recommended the bond issue, which Chris Minnick, city's chief financial officer, said would not be paid back by property taxes. This $56 million bond issue is to fund capital and economic development projects and refinance existing bond issues. Generally speaking, the bonds would pay for about $16 million in 22 capital projects already budgeted in 2022, about $21.5 million in refinancing 3 existing bond issues, and about $12.2 million in payments the city is committed to involving economic development projects in 2022. Terminal Building, Craft Urban Building, Keystone Building, former West Aurora School District Administration Building at 80 South River. And that also includes $3 million to DAC Developments, which is building an apartment complex along North Broadway in between Jake's Bagel and the Aurora Township Building. Right there.
That is interesting.
So yeah, get the money out.
Yeah.
They're making it rain in City Hall, y'all. They
I
making
see,
it
right?
rain.
A lot of progression. My goodness. Look at them.
Right. Okay, so we talked about a lot, but here's what I want to know. What has been the situation historically with hiring and the opportunities presented for women and minority communities? Do you ladies have any opinions on that?
I certainly do.
Oh.
So I think that we are entering an era of more inclusivity. And I know you mentioned women and color, so I'll try to focus on just that. And I think we've been forced to enter this era because, again, I'm going to go back to generationally, things are changing as far as perception and outlook and how things should actually be received. And I think that there is a history of trauma-related things that carried over into acceptability and was allowed. I'll just say that. And I think that is what caused a form of discrimination against women and people of color as far as being hired. I think that over time it will change. I think that the problem that previously existed is still going to be here for a while because it takes a while to create large change. That's what I'm going to say before I take up 6 more hours.
Myra, what do you think?
I completely see where, Katrina is coming from as far as it's a generational thing. In my opinion, I feel that we are evolving as far as, being employed, minorities being employed, women being employed, because now, even if you look down the street, you'll see women, in the construction zones, whereas before you probably didn't see that.
Correct.
And I think that is like a generational thing, whereas I am seeing more of it now than I would have seen prior to. People of color are now in corporate positions. People of color are now, working also in construction, just the same women are. And I guess that's where I come from, is that I'm seeing that change, whereas maybe she didn't. I see it more so, you know, especially in the corporate field. I see it, like I said, in the construction fields, or I'm sorry, we'll leave it at that, construction fields. But, right. So I think it's just definitely nice to see these things. It's nice to see the change that's happening. You know, more opportunities are being offered to minorities, people of color, you know, women in general. We are seeing that fluctuation where people can and are offered these opportunities just as much. And I don't know if it's because people are meeting quotas or whatever it might be, but I do feel that we are being more included as far as, you know, careers go, as jobs go, being employed, you know, goes altogether.
I think that was very well said. And it just made me think, being how old I am. My son was born in 2008, and I went for a promotion. I used to work downtown in 2012 and was, in a roundabout way, told that, oh, well, do you really want to consider this position? You know, you're a mom. It didn't matter that my son was in daycare. All that was squared away. I came to work every day, and I knew the job, but it was just very quick to the point, well, I don't think you should consider that because you have XYZ going on. Instead of just looking at me on paper and my skill set, which matched the person who was leaving skill set, and saying, yeah, we'll talk about it. Let's talk about it. I think I'm more likely to have experience in Open Door now than I would in 2012. And that was just 10 years ago, right? So it's very well said.
Interesting. Yeah, I've seen some, like, I've seen a lot of discrimination, like in just my own work history and professional career. Like I've seen a lot of discrimination.
Right.
Like I've seen, you know, just, you know, I've seen people literally get their application ripped up. You know, I mean, I'm working here. I got a job, but you know, that's kind of bogus. But what are you gonna do?
Right.
So I believe that. I say all that to say that I think what has happened or what has started to happen is not necessarily, you know, it's not somebody woke up like, oh, you know what, this is terrible.
Right.
We've been discriminating against people.
Right.
I can't believe it.
What?
It's not that.
Right.
I think that what's happened is in many industries, engineering, the building trades, especially the constructions, what happened was that qualified labor started to look different.
Right.
Yes.
So that meant that, you know, there's not, you know, there's 60 positions available. Unfortunately, 56 Irish guys aren't applying no more.
Right.
So what happened was that for this building to get made, for this stadium, for this theater, it's either not going to get made or we're going to have
right.
a couple of brothers.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
2 Puerto Rican guys. You know,
Get them in there.
Right? We're going to have to make it, we have to sprinkle it.
Right.
100%.
Exactly.
And I like that. Because there's always been that saying in America, and I think this is what America has consistently always gotten wrong. You know, it's always that, you know, that we all know that saying, money talks, BS walks, or all money is green.
Right.
Yep.
Well, opportunity has not always flowed like that.
Exactly.
And it sucks that people would have to be forced with delaying a project or not getting it built just for you to get a job.
Right.
That's so, you know, it's pitiful, actually. It's very pathetic that it took 50 years and nobody applying to say, okay,
well, fine.
We'll put them in there, right? If we have to.
All right.
Yes.
What's
really
El Wedo?
right.
Put the sign over there.
Right. That's
you know?
right. Absolutely.
And but that's where it's at. That's where it's at. So I like the fact that the Quad County Urban League starts steering these young people into those kind of jobs and those kind of building trades, because those are also the jobs where people have been able to retire and get a good pension and salary out of them, you know?
Absolutely.
That's one of the reasons of the wealth gap. You know, it's not because nobody was, you know, brothers and Latinos aren't applying for those jobs. It's because they weren't getting hired.
Exactly.
And that's caused all kinds of different disparities. But that's it's neither here nor there now.
Right.
You know, that was the past, and we're
Trying to
creating a
build.
new future.
Yep.
Exactly.
So how can people find out more about the Urban League?
Yeah, all social media platforms, Quad County Urban League. We're on Instagram and Facebook. We're leery about Twitter.
Twitter is
Twitter's a great area for us and our audience.
for
So
y'all, yeah.
Like,
Especially for y'all,
right, like we're not a club or anything. We don't have like a sale going on. It doesn't really fit our platform.
Right.
But you can also just walk through our door, 1685 North Farnsworth Avenue, right here in Aurora. You can call us as well, 630-851-2203. You can say I heard about you guys on Good Morning Aurora.
Yes, you can.
So yeah.
Quad County Urban League.
Oh, and QCUL.org.
Yeah, I was
I
going to
forgot
say,
the website,
I was going to say, you got all of them but one.
Yeah,
but
hit all the
it's
tips,
okay.
but the important one. And you can fill out a form on our website citing your interests. All of our programs are up there. We're looking forward to hearing from you, helping you, seeing you as we see everybody. So, yeah.
Yep.
Now, some of the corporate partners.
Oh,
Yeah,
My
right.
goodness.
She's got a list. Here you go.
Waubonsie Community College, College of DuPage, ComEd, NICOR. The host goes on. Dunham
Aldi,
Foundation.
Target.
A couple of you guys is back there.
Oh yeah, we roll in the same clique.
Yeah,
Yes, we do.
Oh, and definitely our congressmen and our politicians that always help us. That would definitely be Barbara Hernandez, Bill Foster, Stephanie Kifowit, Representative Underwood. They're really big supporters of us. Who else? I'm trying to
Aldi,
think.
Target. We
Aldi,
have a
Target. Oh my goodness, the
There's
list
a
goes
lot.
on.
Yep.
And if we didn't, think of
We
you,
can-
please don't
right.
take it personally. We'll put you on our website. Please
Right.
keep
There's a
supporting
lot.
us.
There's
There's
a
probably
lot.
a host of 30 plus people that we are just continuously grateful for all of the time. So, yeah. And Fox Valley Community Foundation as well.
Now, what we got coming up on the calendar? Upcoming.
Oh, great. I'm so
items and
glad you brought
dates?
that up. Well, she mentioned graduation, which we're so proud of our EA2 participants and students. So that's first and foremost.
Yes.
We're very happy to see them walk with cap and gown and receive their high school diploma. Moving on, we have a department that focuses on health and wellness. Our community health workers, I believe, are hosting something for Juneteenth. And that's going to be June 17th this year. And it will be more than likely either in our parking lot or somewhere large and big so that we can have all of the people with enough space and just talk about all of our programs and how we can provide assistance. I know Aldi will be there. I'm pretty sure Target will be there. We'll have a host of other partners. We're probably definitely going to want someone in the room who hosted us to come. Good morning, Aurora. Good morning,
June
Aurora. June
17th
17th
is what we're looking for.
Look for that. And yeah.
We in there.
And I know Monica mentioned the resource fair. We are also going
We'll
to
be
be
there too,
participating in
yeah.
that.
Oh, that's right.
We will be part of the resource fair as well.
Really trying to get that visibility out there. We have a host of people. We help thousands of people a year. We definitely want to up that number and get into the tens of thousands. Helping thousands of people is good, but we want to set that bar high because Aurora's big.
Huge.
It is.
Yeah, I haven't even
It
lived
is
here that long,
actually
and I
one of
did
the
not
biggest
know it was the
cities.
second
Yep.
biggest city.
One of the biggest cities in
Nobody
Illinois.
told me. I was like, that's huge.
Yep.
What?
Yep.
So, well, where are you from?
I'm actually from closer to Indiana, a small town called South Holland, Illinois.
Oh, come on now.
Mm.
What? I'm
What?
from Harvey, Illinois.
That's why.
I was gonna hug you.
Yeah.
She was gonna hug you. I was
I used
just
to
in
work
Harvey
in
the
the
other
Dixie. I
day.
used to work in the Dixie Fruit Market.
Yes,
Little stand
I
right
just
there.
had alphas on Saturday.
Look at this.
Okay.
Look at
Oh,
this.
I
That's
should've
why
bought
you
you
guys
a Spider-Man.
click. Right.
That's
That's why
it.
y'all click.
I was wondering what it was,
I knew we were gonna
and
be
now we
friends
know.
as soon as you walked in here.
I felt it.
Forever.
I
Oh
felt
my
it.
goodness. So did you go to school in that area?
I went to Thornton for a little bit.
Right.
I got in man trouble. My parents divorced, unfortunately. So that's what took me out of that area.
Right, for the better, because
Yeah.
Harvey is still Harvey, but I
It
love
is.
it.
It
But
is.
you have to have a different type of character to understand where you're at when you go through Harvey.
Yeah, you
I
really
can't
do.
take everybody to Harvey. I can't take everybody to Harvey, but I love it.
Yep. But yeah, that's it. South Holland, Illinois.
South
Boy.
Holland, yep.
But anyway, this is
Right, good morning, Aurora.
Did we
Thank you
get
so much for
everything?
having us. This
Thank
is
you,
so
thank you.
fun.
So I actually got one more question here.
Okay.
Sure thing.
Now the show ends on a positive note.
Okay.
What is your message collectively for our listeners of Aurora here today?
That's a great question. So I am really big on positive messages. So
Yes, she
we'll
is.
start here.
Good.
I think it's important in life to feel seen, But once you're seen, I think it's important to craft your own message for when people see you. And I think that looks different for everyone. I think that it takes work and time, and most importantly, it takes grace. Affording yourself and others grace is a key to entering new chapters, developing new relationships, forming strong partnerships. And once we have all mastered grace, we will all master a successful outcome. That's it.
Wow, great message. I don't know how I'm going to follow up with that. Mine was just, we're going to get you there.
Yeah.
Don't worry, we're going to get you there. As far as Quad County goes, we have the resources for you.
100%.
We are there to help you, and we're there to, help you succeed at the end of the day. That's our ultimate goal, is to make sure that you are successful in whatever career path, whatever choice in life you want to make. We're there for you. We're going to get you there.
And you're born and raised in Aurora, right?
I'm from Joliet.
Okay.
I was born in Chicago, but I'm from Joliet.
Okay.
Lived most of my life there.
All right. Well, you ladies are doing good work here in Aurora, so we really appreciate it.
Of course.
Awesome.
Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it. So we will have, so now that we've been friends for a while now.
Right.
So the 17th of June,
Yes.
Yes.
I'll be in the house.
Yes.
You ladies can think of another reason to come back on the show.
All the
I will be
time.
back
The next
Wednesday.
thing we'll talk about, you'll be back on Wednesday.
I will be
Yes.
back on Wednesday, yes.
All of our listeners, qcul.org.
Correct.
Yes.
Mhm.
Right.
That is our website.
We
All
look forward to
social media
hearing from you.
platforms.
Yes.
Yep. We're there.
Ladies and gentlemen, we hope that you guys enjoyed today's show. Take care of yourself and each other.
You too. Thank you so much.
Thank you.